Okay, I'm back again because I'm in the video making mode now. So, two sisters, well, recently, two people asked me a question. Um, One girl asked me in my inbox, do I still talk to Isis and Ife? And I'm assuming because she knows that we were the three in Ghana. Isis just got there about a month ago, I think. But this was a part of the messiness I didn't really want to get into, but it is a part of the story. It is a part of the journey. It happened. No, me and Ife don't talk anymore. I cut that cord with her about maybe about a month ago, right around when ISIS came, about maybe about 4 days after ISIS got here. I started to notice the little funny shit. So, I should have cut. I really should have stopped talking to Ife years ago, like 2015, when I first started rocking with her. Before Sacred Woman, before the Blood House, before all of this, it was just she would just go on and read, and then she would go on and just talk about spiritual stuff and different things. And she made it big that if your sister sells something and you sell it too, post your sister's thing, support your sister's business, blah, blah, blah. From 2015 till now, she has never, ever, ever shared any of my posts, my body butter, my candles, my earrings. She never shared anything. She never liked anything. She never shouted me out. And it was times when she would attack me on the posts. Like we were talking, she was talking about cigarette smoking and how she quit smoking cigarettes and how people who drink sodas think they more healthier than people who smoke cigarettes. So I said, well, I smoke cigarettes. How did you stop smoking Newports? And she was real cold and rude about it, like, sis, I'm not finna get into that. You a grown woman, you know, blah, 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 blah. So I mean, she just shut me down in front of everybody on the live. And she has done that to me a couple times. One time I just got sick of it and stopped watching her. And about a year later, I started again. So like I said, to this day, she still hasn't. I have bought products from her. I have bought her earrings. I have bought her a little cigar boxes she was making. I've sent her money, just supported her in many different ways, shared her posts, shared her business, sent people to her. From 2015 to now, she's never done the same for me, but she makes it big that we should do that as sisters. So, when since we've been in Ghana, we've been in Ghana a year and a half, 2 years. March will be 2 years. In April, when I decided to stay, she decided to stay too. And what we were going to do was get one house where we could all go and stay at, as a transition house. But in another video, I told you, turns out she didn't do that at all. She just got a house for her, Ice and her husband, and that was it. So a lot of times I'll call her. She won't answer the phone for a year and a half. I'll call her. She won't answer her phone. She'll text me back a day or so later sometimes and say, oh, sis, I'm sorry, my phone was dead, or but the network over here is bad. And it's just, I probably have a few messages over the last year and a half saying the same thing. So while Isis was gone, I was letting her know that when Isis get here, I don't want no drama. I just want to be cool with her. I don't want her to come here and be uncomfortable or think I have a problem with her because we're all sisters. Well, apparently Isis wasn't getting that message. So for the whole year and a half, I don't have any idea where Ife lives. She knows where I live. She's been to my home. She's been to my store. She pops up on me. I don't know where she lives. My husband doesn't know where she lives. Nobody in our circle has any idea where she lives. And anytime, like one time she had my blender and I was like, I'm going to come and pick the blender. She was like, no, I'm on my way out. The 3 times I attempted to go to her house, she would say like, oh no, I'm out, or oh no, I'm on my way out anyway. So she does that to about 3 people that's attempted to go to her house. So when Isis came, I made sure that Isis had my phone number. she had my WhatsApp, so if she needed to get in touch with me, which she could, because I knew Isis was not aware of what she was about to get into. And one day, she just pulled up my store with Isis in the car. Isis hesitated to get out. Now, I don't know if Faye's coming. I don't know nothing. She just pulled up like she just pulled up with Isis and Isis' son in the car and her husband. And I'm looking, my husband said, Hajia, calm down, just relax. Don't say nothing. I was like, okay. So I was like, hey, Ife, I hugged her. I hadn't seen her since before she went back to the U.S. She had just got back, hugged her. And I looked and noticed Isis wouldn't get out the car. And I'm pissed because I'm looking at Ife like, why would you pop up on me like that? Why wouldn't you tell me, sis, I'm on my way there with Isis? So Isis, for whatever reason, got out the car. I was actually getting ready to walk to the car and greet her and hug her. But before I could do that, she got out the car. She got out the car and I hugged her. She hugged me really, really tight. She hugged me for a long time. And I was grateful. I was happy. Like, it was no tension. We sat there. We talked. And next thing I know, Ife's husband, as always, was like, let's go. Ife said it's time to go. Isis, her son, Ife, and the husband left. So I text Isis like, why don't you come over and bring your son? It's little kids over here next to my store where he can play. He can run around, because I knew he was sitting in the house with grown people all day, every day. She said, oh, thanks for thinking about him and blah, blah, blah. So the day that I decided to cut Ife off, the day I was just fed up and tired of it, I just texted her and said, look, since I have to keep figuring out your love and your loyalty and your sisterhood, let me just end this. Let me just cut it off. Whatever you bought, the little fish fry, whatever you bought me from the U.S., keep it. I'm sure you'll find a use for it. And I said something about love you, whatever. And I blocked her. I didn't want to hear from her. I didn't want no response or nothing, because we had went through this before. We've been going through this for years. And it was just time for me to cut it off. And about 2 days later, Isis texted me. She messaged me. She said, I said to Ife, I was sitting here thinking that if I have to I started the sentence off what I was sitting here thinking. So Isis texted me 2 or 3 days later. She said, I was sitting here thinking, I'm assuming she was trying to be funny, that you've never been nice to me. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure out what it is that you want, because you've never been nice to me. You're always mean to me. And I'm not really in the mood to fake sisterhood with you. I texted her back and said, you won't hear from me again. Period. That was it. Last time I heard from her, that was it. And I remember feeling really hurt, because Ife was already just wishy-washy the whole time we've been in Ghana. She's helped me. I've helped her. We've been there for each other for money or whatever. Emotionally or as a sister, she hasn't been there for me. Mind you, I built and opened up a whole store, and she has never, ever come to my store and shouted me out, had nothing going on at my store, ever. When Deshawn opened up her Airbnb, the one that Ife kicked out the group because what happened on the 10-day trip, she gave Deshawn the biggest shout out I have ever seen on Facebook. I remember looking at that like, did Faye wrote this to Deshawn? I was confused. Mind you, every time she heard that Deshawn contacted me, she got really edgy. Like, why you keep talking to her? I don't know why you keep talking to her. I said, why do you have a problem with me talking to Deshawn when you still communicate with Deshawn? I said, and why wasn't Isis kicked out the group? When Isis caused as much confusion as Deshawn, she just did it in a really passive-aggressive way. She caused confusion as well. And she told me why, which I won't say here right now. She told me why. But anyway, that should answer the question. No, me and Ife don't talk anymore. I don't miss her. I feel free. I'm glad I cut her off. But anyway, after Isis did that to me, it hurt me. And I was a little confused about it. And then I know, like, now I'm really here alone. I can't figure out why Ife is this way with me, why Isis is this way. And, I just really couldn't figure it out. So I started to cry. And my husband was like, Hajia, why are you crying? And I really couldn't talk to him. And then finally I was like, I'm just hurt that everything is happening this way. You know, these are the only two people I have here, and I cut Ife off. I don't have her, and I don't have ISIS. But I told him, he said, "Oh, IG, don't mind them. Don't worry about them. You have a lot of other people. You just don't have Black Americans." So that answers that question. No, we don't talk. That's it.